The videos that you are afraid to post right now are probably the exact videos that would get you the most amount of clients. And the problem right now is that a lot of people are very scared to say the truth about their own industry, about what they believe. So a lot of times founders like to be very polished when it comes to content on social media. Like you have a perfect business, a perfect sales process. You want your content to be perfect as well. And that's not the reality of it. Like you're dealing with fires every single day in your business, most likely, some big, some small. And so the people who typically win the most on social media are the ones who are completely authentic. How I portray myself in this piece of content right here is the exact same way I portray myself when I'm coaching clients on a day-to-day basis. There is no difference between the two. It's literally just what question or problem or concern they have right now and what information can I provide or help them with to fix said problem. That is it. And so a lot of y'all try to put on like a facade. And mind you, when I first did content like a decade ago though too, I thought the exact same thing. I thought I needed to feel like super polished. I needed to cut out all my mistakes and just make everything perfect when that's the last thing that you want overall. And so I always say this in content, you need a very strong line in the sand that can separate opinions out for you. Be polarizing your content. A very easy way to do that is if there is a big fact, quote unquote, that is being talked about in your industry or niche, and everybody believes this thing, but it's not true, call it out. So again, for myself personally, if you watch my content, you probably know this. I've talked about it 1,000 times now, where I've sat there and said, a lot of people get the advice that they should make the most perfect YouTube video. And that's how you win, by optimizing your titles and thumbnails. But it's been proven for a business owner, that's not true, because that advice was given to YouTube creators, not YouTube business owners who are using YouTube for their business. So I can call out that thing. So while everybody else is going to say this over here, I'm the lone sheep over here, but my results speak for themselves. And so that's the exact same thing you want to do for you, is like call out the bad advice in your industry. Call out that line in the sand that separates you, because those are types of pieces of content that separate you compared to everybody else. If you look at Alex Hormozi, I use him as a lot in reference to this because that's the person everybody's typically going to know from a business standpoint that's doing content at scale. From a general content standpoint, a lot of people will know Mr. Beast, but I like to just use Alex Hormozi as a really good reference. If you really think about it, he came into the space and naturally he was the guy with like the scruffy hair, the long beard, always wearing a hat and in a tank top. And like most people are like, oh, why would you ever wear that? Like you're in the business setting, you buy and sell companies. Why would you ever wear it? It's because that's unauthentically him. He just talks like that. He's not afraid to say his opinion and his thoughts and concerns and what he really stands when he has a belief. That's the same thing you should be doing though as well. It's like you should pick out your beliefs. You should talk about your opinions. You should be unauthentically you. I have a lot of my clients who ask me, what should I wear in content? And what sounds like a very simple like answer, naturally it should be something that represents you on a 24/7 basis. So as a reference, I wear t-shirts in content. Today I happen to be wearing like a polo when I'm filming a bunch of this content. And so those are things that you would see me naturally wear on a day-to-day basis anyways. If I'm at home and I'm just hanging out with me and my fiance, probably not gonna be wearing like a colored polo shirt like this. Like I'd probably wearing something more relaxed. Maybe like, again, a t-shirt, but I also do that in content. And so some people are like, oh, well, should I fully wear suits and be dressed up and make sure my hair is fully done and everything's perfect? It's like, if that's how you are on a day-to-day basis and you always wanna be like that if you're out at an event or anything else in between, go for that. But be authentically you. The last thing you want is for you to be sitting here and having yourself as some polished person on social media, when in reality, you're not. Like you're not perfect. Nobody is here. And so that's the benefit, is you play into that overall. That's why I think it's so cool that like Hormozi, when he speaks on stages, wears the same things, like the jean shorts and everything like that, because that's just unauthentically him. He's like, I'd rather just wear that. That's all I care about. For somebody who wears a more relaxed outfit, wear something more relaxed. If you're somebody who wants to be more dressed up, be completely dressed up, but make sure that represents you. Don't put on a facade of who you think should be that person overall. And again, when it comes to the actual content overall, is the last thing you want is to have people who are the wrong buyers coming into your funnel and skewing all your data. Just like if you're running ads and you're getting a bunch of leads, but the leads were really bad, they're unqualified, quote unquote, you would instantly turn off that ad creative. It's the exact same thing when it comes to actual content. And so a lot of people don't think about content like that, like traditional marketing, but that's all it is. It's just a new vehicle to do marketing. And so when you're running this type of content and stuff, if you have content that doesn't repel the wrong buyer, you're going to attract the wrong type of people. Just like you when you're running an ad and all of a sudden you start getting some bad leads because you ran a horrible cheap opt-in form and ran some one-time offer where it just doesn't make sense. You brought in the wrong crowd. You didn't want to bring in that demographic of people. It's the exact same thing with content, is make sure your content is specific because not only will it attract the right people, but it'll weed out the wrong people. The ones who waste your time, the ones who your sales team hates, the ones where like, even if they wanted to pay you triple, you wouldn't even want to work with them because they just suck to work with. Every niche and industry has some of those people. And so that's the exact same thing you should be doing with your content. So anytime you're creating a piece of content, obviously you want it in a very structured way, but also be sitting there and asking yourself, is this a piece of content that I'm fearful of making? Am I trying to be too perfect? And instantly, if you can make yourself be imperfect, come across unauthentically you in the piece of content, it'll really help you in the long run.